because that's a bishop ending, and maybe but it's got pawns. So let's have Van Nguyen and Gukesh, and well, there's been some clarifications in the centre. What do we think?
Yeah, so it looks fairly even here. We won't go through the open moves, we'll just pick it up sort of in the current position. And Gukesh with the black piece has yet to score a win, the world champion, but it's not easy winning nowadays. And Gukesh, after the very sensible rook d1, just preparing, lining up against the queen, goes queen c7, and often the queen actually wants to get out of the way totally of the rook, so it might sort of head into the corner, have some influence on the long diagonal. White plays h4, and this is a patient position, which I think requires, just build up. There's nothing obvious. It's kind of like who captures first. Very hard to sort of play these positions because you've got to constantly think about, do I want to take a pawn? Does that improve my structure? And then you have to think about, will my opponent take a pawn? And you have to have very sort of deep understanding of the positional side to this. I mean, maybe White could take a pawn if he wants to, with the idea that you often get, let's say I take another one, this pawn structure, and this is another well-known pawn structure. These are called hanging pawns. There's been many games played like this, and they can be strong, but they can also be weak, hence why they're called hanging pawns. But you've got to decide who that favours.
Well, I think in this particular situation probably favours black, because black has got all the pieces. It's got like an a5, a4 break incoming as well in the high pawns. But we had a few moves. I think, as you mentioned, h4 got played. Never a bad idea, Simon.
Always a good move.
Always a good idea.
Always.
If you're stuck for a plan,
just play h4.
Follow the English school, which is h4.
Throw the h pawn up the board and don't even look. Just
exactly. And then, what did Gukesh play? Bishop t6. And that kind of provoked the knight b1 move from White. You know, trying to reroute to c3. Let's not go American here.
No. Leave Greenland alone.
Yes. Wow.
And here, maybe e5 is an idea.
Yeah.
And I quite like what White played here. And White sees a hole, and we talked about this a lot, so I'll say it very quickly. If you see an outpost for a piece or a hole, that's an outpost. What piece is ideal there? A knight. So you just try to work out the best route by going from that square to that square, and knight b1 is aiming to put the knight on that very nice square. So there's a little bit more urgency to Gukesh's position, and he decides now he's the first to blink. He captures on c4, and here it's White to play, and the obvious move is obviously pawn takes c4. Maybe he's still thinking of bringing the knight out. Maybe.
Yeah, let's have some.
those last lines. And also the other thing is, if you get your king in, you're winning, aren't you?
Right.
So if you do, this line does save white's knight, but now, well, you can actually just grab a pawn. But also, let's go for that checkmate that Ivanka pointed out. We can start using 3 pieces to kill the
Yeah,
king.
and if the knight goes to, the knight's not really getting anywhere. We go to d6.
Knight d6.
It's almost tempting to set up that checkmate with king 2.
It is.
Well, he's
What's he got?
moved his king to h1.
Okay, so this is the only other way, but now the king's in a much worse position. And
Are there any ways that black can go wrong here? So I'm just looking for
definitely.
f4.
So
Is that going to lose anything?
So you're trying to find bad moves.
Yes, I'm just trying to think about natural moves.
This is my speciality, finding bad moves.
No, I mean, but they seem very natural, but are wrong.
I don't think there is. I think even this is actually a good move, right?
Rook g5 check, could that?
Give that a punt. Okay, so you want, maybe this is the only.
Yeah, so king h6.
And now knight
f5.
And now this is. I mean, I'm 2 pawns up here, aren't I?
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, you can probably go a4, hang on, now I think about it.
Okay, so
you go
a4, I take here.
And you can even go a3.
Then I go rook here.
Yeah, you have to keep an eye on the a pawn, because if you don't do that, if you take the pawn on.
Well, maybe let's get behind the pawn then.
Yeah, but the whole point is that you have to keep it, because if you take on f7, because it looks like, then you move the rook out of the way, and then you're just simply going to go a2.
And this
is going to be obviously 1.
And I know this is winning as well because
because of the f pawn.
Yes.
Let's actually show, because it's quite an instructive endgame.
So it doesn't really matter about this h pawn. You can take that h pawn off the board, and this is a winning ending. It's only winning because it's an f pawn.
If it were a g pawn, it would be a draw.
If this was on here or here, it'd be a draw. But the way you win this is quite easy. Actually, you advance the pawn all the way here.
Yeah, and you can't take on f4.
Let's show it quickly. So the way you win, okay.
We have a resignation. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As expected, but maybe we can just quickly finish off that endgame point.